Hello and welcome to Walking the Earth podcast. I'm Mike Margulies. Today's episode is actually extracted from some video footage recorded back in December in Goa, India. My friend and fellow backpacker Becky Senior helped me to create some new shoes out of a ripped pair of jeans. And while she was helping me out with this, we actually just ended up talking about the decision to quit our jobs and go backpacking, and all the doubt and apprehension that was in our heads during that time period. If you want to watch the video version, that is available in the link in the episode description. So please enjoy.
So, this is Creative Corner project, making denim shoes. Questions like, what's my purpose? Why am I here? Why am I here? Like, I think, why people fear death. I think it's not always the fear of actual death, dying itself, pain, but it's that fear of leaving the earth, having not left your mark on anything. That's what scares me. Like you never existed. You never filled your potential. Like, the fuck, man? I went on a date with this guy. I went on a date with this guy in the summer. And I was getting all deep on him about life, and I just don't understand why I'm here, blah, blah. I'm going to India, like, I'm gonna go figure this shit out. And he went to the toilet and he came back looking very serious, solemn. He says, I've been thinking. I was like, oh right, yeah. He says, well, I think you and I are very different. And I was like, well, why is that? He says, because I have a job with a pension and a mortgage, and I like it, and I wouldn't go to India because it's dirty and it smells. And I just looked at him and thought, oh dear. Needless to say, we didn't go on a second date. If I could just change his attitude or view about a tiny little bit or something, then it would have been, I would have done something good. But I still think that he thinks India's smelly and dirty. And he'll retire at 55 with his nice pension. But probably go to his grave having not left any major mark on the world.
You can't change other people.
No, I know.
You can only change yourself.
Yeah. I just find it amusing. I think what I'm trying to say is I don't want to be like that, and that scares me. I'd rather be kind of, have lots of questions and torture myself a little bit about what I'm doing, rather than just accept kind of what seems to be my lot, if you know what I mean. I read this thing said, you should always stay hungry, stay foolish, like in your search for great work. Stay hungry, stay foolish. I nicked that from somewhere else, but I liked it. Shoes are coming on.
Yeah!
Middle class kind of Indian family. And we got talking to the girl who's the daughter in the family. And she just had all the same kind of aspirations as me, and like same questions, and I could see she was kind of almost a little, felt a little constrained by like the Indian culture, like didn't really necessarily want to get married, but kind of had to, it's a formality, like wants to travel more, and had the same kind of values as me in that. She said, I'm not interested in jewellery, diamonds. My husband asked me if I wanted a big diamond for our first wedding anniversary. I said, no, take me to see the mountains in Switzerland. And I thought that was really, really cool, because that's exactly what I want over a big fat diamond. At some point, like when you go to school and you go to university and it's all kind of mapped out for you, you know what you're doing for the next few years, and then suddenly you get into a job and then it's like, actually, are you sure about this? Apart from those people who know really early on what they want to do, And they don't tell you when you're studying, like, how many possibilities, how many alternative careers are out there. You could do shitloads of stuff, but like, how do you even get into that? I think one thing that I haven't been very good at, which I want to try and cultivate in the future, is just have to make a fucking decision. You have to JFDI, just fucking do it. In whatever you do, because it's never going to be forever. So you could go and be a lawyer for a few years and then try something new. But rather, I think what people do, and what I've done, is there's so many possibilities and so many options, you just get paralysed by choice and don't do anything. My question was, to myself, whether, deciding to go travelling, whether it was just like running away from having to make a decision about a career or whatever. Like, because it's like, oh yeah, I'll have this time out to think about it. And I was like, really? Or is it just an easier option in deciding on what the next thing should be? But I think the question you have to ask yourself is whether you're running from something or whether you're running to something. So like, if you go travelling to kind of run away from some problems, like a bad relationship or whatever, then that's always going to end up bad, because you'll still be as messed up, just in a different setting. But if you come away and you've got like some ideas of shit you want to do and things you want to learn and whatever, like you've got some purpose to your trip, then I think that's running towards something and not from. Yeah.
It's coming along.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have some new shoes soon. Yeah, the backstory behind this, by the way, is I lost all 3 pairs of foot equipment, 2 pairs of sandals, 1 pair of shoes, and I somehow in the last week lost all 3 of them. So now I'm getting some help. Getting some new custom designed shoes.
Denim shoes.
Denim shoes. These are from my former pair of jeans that started ripping, and I just ripped off the bottom, and now finding a new use for them. In order to create, you must destroy.
And this is my craft kit that I brought with me to India, and I wasn't sure what purpose it would serve, and I haven't actually used it yet, but here we are, making shoes.
Everything has a purpose. So, I forgot what we were talking about.
Jumping without the rope.
Jumping without the rope. So, for me, there was this decision, and it was, do I take a leave of absence from work, or do I quit my job outright?
Yeah.
And while I was in Peru with a shaman on ayahuasca, a message that came through to me very loud and clear was jump without the rope, which was a Batman reference. If you've seen The Dark Knight Rises.
No.
Have you seen it? You haven't seen it?
Not seen
Okay,
it.
well,
Okay.
the movie's okay.
Yeah.
It's not as good as the other 2.
Right.
But I'm a huge Batman nerd.
But that came through. Jump without the rope.
Yeah.
What, just like a voice, or how did
I can't
it
describe
feel?
it. It wasn't a voice that I was hearing, but it was just... I can't describe it. This is like describing the color blue to a blind person, right?
Okay.
Here's the best analogy I can give. So, who's somebody who's close to you?
My sister.
Okay. So imagine your sister's face
Yeah.
in your mind. You can picture it in your head,
Yeah.
but you're not seeing it, right? You're not actually seeing her face, but you have an image in your head. Or can you imagine what her voice sounds like?
Yeah.
You're not actually hearing it though with your ears, right?
No.
But
it's
have it. You can remember. It's like that, except it wasn't memories. It's just completely new things.
Wow.
So I was receiving this message. You could say hearing it, but it wasn't hearing with my ears. But the message, it was like, my brain talking to my brain, saying, jump without the rope. There's a scene in that movie, in The Dark Knight Rises, where he's in this prison, and he's climbing up the walls of the prison, and he's trying to escape, and he's got a safety rope.
tied to him.
Yeah.
So he tries to jump to reach the other side,
Yeah.
and he misses. He does this a couple times and he misses. And then it's only, I think he gets told something like, and he says, "Oh, I'm not afraid." And then I guess the wise person in this prison says, "Well, that's your problem. You have to be afraid. Take off the rope. Jump without the rope. You have to be afraid of that fall because that's the only way you're going to push yourself to make sure you fucking succeed." So that was the message that came through to me, very loud and clear. It was just annoying. Like, jump without the rope. Jump. I'm like, God damn it, I get it already. Shut up. I said that, but I wrote it down in my book with a question mark. I wrote "jump without the rope?" question mark.
No, there's no question mark there, though, is there?
Well,
From what you said, there's no question mark.
No, when I first got the message, that's what I
It was
wrote
just
with a
jump.
question mark.
Jump.
But over time, as I digested it and thought about it, it became very clear to me that there was only one answer, and that was what my deepest heart of hearts was telling me. Was,
Yeah. Well, really, there was no need for that question mark, was there?
No, there wasn't.
Initially.
There wasn't a need for the question mark. I was still like, really? Is this just me on drugs thinking of something stupid? You know, there was that part of me that was questioning it, like, is this just some stupid trip-induced fake revelation? Because you can have fake revelations. And I wanted to revisit it and make sure it was right, and it was. It wasn't some fake revelation. This was actually, I believe it was something I always knew I had to do.
Yeah.
Because I've been trying little businesses while working, and you know, the thought was previously, oh, let me try this stuff on the side, and if it doesn't work out, I still have this fallback option. I still have this job here. I don't want to throw that away, because why would I? That's a terrible idea to throw that away. But in reality, if you don't throw it all away, if you have something to lose, then it holds you back. And now I'm in a situation where I have no choice but to figure something out. And it's changed. It's psychological.
Well, you have to be completely, like you have to lose everything in order to kind of start again, I think. And
in order to create, you must destroy.
Yeah. I know. Well, I don't.
Case in point, my pants.
Okay, so trying on the shoe.
God,
it's sewed up now.
It's like Cinderella.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God.
Oh, the shoe fits. So now I need laces.
Yeah.
All right, beautiful.
What kind
the shoe fits.
What colored laces do you want?
I am like a Cinderella, huh?
You've got red, purple, yellow, or we could plait them and make multicolored laces.
Do this. Put all three behind your back. And shuffle them. I don't want to see them though.
Okay.
Okay, ready?
Yeah.
Put one of them. Do you know which one's which?
No.
Okay, put one of them in your right hand and pull it out.
My right hand.
Yeah. It's red. That's the answer.
Okay. Red laces on both.
We'll have to do it again, I guess, for the left one.
All right.
Actually, you know what? Let's flip a coin. Either one side of the coin is matching, and the other side of the coin is clashing.
Ooh. It's one. So.
Okay, so it's clashing.
Oh.
All right, we gotta choose one of the other colors.
Okay. So I'm gonna do this again.
All right.
I'm gonna raise the left hand this time.
Okay.
Oh, they're getting all tangled.
Yellow.
Red and yellow.
Red and yellow.
Red and yellow.
Red and yellow. Red and yellow. Red and yellow. So it just occurred to me, this is some really good footage. Get it? So we were just talking about how a movie where you know the plot is really boring.
Yeah.
Why would you want to know what's going to happen next?
And then I thought of a quote which is kind of gone, but I think it was something along the lines of, your life is like your message to the world, or your story to the world. Just make sure it's an interesting one.
Acha. Acha cha 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 cha. All right, and here is shoe number one, complete with laces and everything. Holy shit, this is awesome. Can I try them on?
Yeah, give me a foot, Cinderella.
All right, thank you.
Right.
So if this fits, then it means I'm gonna get Prince Charming?
Maybe.
Is there a Princess Charming?
I don't know, man. don't know. There's a hello to the princess.
Oh, hello to the queen. Wait, what's hello to the princess?
A hello to the princess with pineapple.
What? I want a hello to the princess. Oh, these.
These are so cool.
Oh, these are great. Holy shit, they fit.
I'm so pleased with myself.
I'm pleased for myself.
Look at this.
Now I have shoes. Custom made shoes. Thank you. This is awesome.
Look at that.
Oh man.
They're brilliant.
It's so funny. I lost 3 pairs of foot equipment and now I have way cooler ones than I ever would have had otherwise. Sometimes you lose things in order to find something better. Bam! Metaphors, bitches!
Now for shoe number 2.
Alright, with the yellow laces.
Yeah. They're really good.
I know. These are awesome. Wow. Amazing work. Oh. Thank you, Miss Becky.
Some people visit and they maybe teach you a couple of things. You might take it, you might leave it. But then there's the ones who are like the core shakers, do you know what I mean? They like really change your perception and what you believe. But you don't realise it at the time. You only realise it when they've gone. And then you're like, shit, what the fuck happened there? I'm like it's a whole new aspect to me now. But that's what's nice though, because I think the only thing that you can really be certain of in life is that there will be change. The phrase that didn't really bother me but now bugs me quite a bit is when people say, normally in the course of an argument or something, oh, you've changed, or you've changed. And it's like, well, of course I've changed. And if I wasn't changing, I wouldn't be growing, I wouldn't be learning, I wouldn't be developing myself as a person. I'm different now. There's a quote about this, I think it's Lewis Carroll. There's a quote, like I'm different now than I was this morning and I'll be different in the evening. It's the only thing we can be really sure of is that we will change, things will change, and it's how we deal with that that's important, I think.
What is your impression of me?
My impression of you? Well, I think you strike me as quite an honest person. It's like you're very open, which I think is a good quality. Like not kind of afraid to talk about what's on your mind and what you think about things. Seem fun. Just like, I don't know, there's a kind of rawness to you, I think. A little bit. But maybe that's because you're thinking about all these things and it's just oozing out of you. You can't stop it. But that's good. You should, I think that's something, it's like a childlike quality, do you know what I mean? Like, children are a bit like that, in that they'll say stuff and they won't care if somebody's going to judge them or whatever. Like, they're just saying what they think, what they feel. And not so many people are like that. If we were all a bit more like that, it might be, more interesting.
So what can I improve about myself?
Oh, I don't know, that's a question for you, I guess. What do you mean?
I don't know, I'm just interested in getting perspectives from other people.
What can you improve about yourself? I was going to say get better shoes, but I don't think you have that problem anymore.
Boom.
Well, I can't answer it for you, but if I was to answer it for myself, I think I'd want to be a bit more giving and a bit more compassionate, And
those are the same thing.
Think of myself less and others more.
Those are the same things I'm trying to do.
Yeah, I find that difficult though. Even so for example...
You're helping someone right now.
I know I am. I'm just a big ball of give. It's the season for giving, isn't it?
It
it's
is.
My Christmas present to you.
Thank you. This is a lovely Christmas present. I'm like really fucking happy, and they're just so lightweight. They won't take up any. I've been trying to thin down my belongings, and
God damn, what better way to carry shoes than this? It's cloth.
Yeah. But like, so, oh yeah, I was going to
And custom-made cloth.
Indeed. Plaited laces.
Yeah.
I was going to give you an example of being compassionate. And this is a bit of a, I don't know, bit of a crap one, but when I was in a taxi coming here from South Goa, and the taxi guy was like, you know, just stop at this shop for like 15 minutes, you just have to have a look, you don't have to buy anything, but if you do go in, I'll get like 300 rupees or whatever. And I was just like, no, I don't want to go to the fucking shop. I don't want to look around, like, I just want to get to where I'm going. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm not interested. But another part of my mind was going, you know, it's 15 minutes of your time, and this guy's going to make 300 rupees, which is probably quite a lot of money. Why can't you just go and look in the shop? And then I felt bad about it. So I was like toying with these two concepts, you know? Should I have been more selfless in that situation? Before I came on this trip to India, I was so scared. Like, I had this crippling fear that I'd had for months. So I got to the airport and I was crying. And
What was your fear?
oh, my fear was I was going to get, I was going to get mugged, groped, harassed, like single girl in India on my own. I was just going to get all this unwanted attention and I wouldn't be able to deal with it. And like the whole place would just overwhelm me and I wouldn't be able to cope. But the safety thing was my number one fear, I think. And his shit was keeping me up at night. And the day it came to come, I wasn't excited. I was just so scared. And I got on the plane and I was just sobbing and it was like, you know, like crying. Oh, like I'd not cried like that for so long. It was a real from here kind of cry. And I was walking down the aisles of the plane and people were looking at me and I had this scarf on and I just had to like put the scarf like over my head and just keep walking. But I honestly felt like I was being sent to the fucking gallows. Like I was going to war, I was going to die. You know, and then I sat there and took my seat next to this guy and he was looking at me like, he's like, are you alright? I was like, yeah, I'm fine, I'm just going away for like a really long time. And then I played this song and it made me feel a little better and now it's my little song to myself to make me feel better if ever I feel sad.
What's the song?
It's by Ben Howard and it's Keep Your Head Up.
And so what you were just saying inspired me. Well, it reminded me of some of my memories of that period. I was getting ready to quit. And I think from an outside perspective, people might think, oh, wow, this guy just went crazy one day and said, I'm out, fuck it. And it was just a really easy decision. And I'm just being careless. And I have this moment of impulse, whatever you want to call it. But I think I know for me, and I'm pretty sure for most other people in this situation, that's not what it is. There's a massive internal conflict that goes on.
Yeah.
And there's, you know, there's a big part of me that was not sure
Yeah.
that this was right. And
Oh, sorry.
that was the opposite direction.
Yeah.
Worried am I going in the opposite direction?
Yeah.
That's another thing that's happening now is I just make connections with everything. You know, there's a big part of worrying about that. And you know, it was a lot of soul searching, like, what am I doing? I'm throwing this away. My whole life I've been trained to think that there's a certain level of security you need. Am I taking a stupid risk? Is this just me being an idiot?
Yeah.
To quit my job
Yeah.
without even having a fallback option?
Yeah.
But I had to really, really dig deep to realize, no, I can find a way to make it work. yeah, I don't have a fallback option per se, but there's actually plenty of fallback options.
Absolutely.
And I have to just get out there in the fucking world and do what I need to do. I can't operate my life out of a fear of something bad happening. I have to operate my life out of the aspiration of making something good happen, even better. Is it a risk? Sure, it is. You can think of it that way, but that's not the way I look at it. I don't think this was a risky move. In the worst case scenario, I'm having the time of my life right now.
It's bold.
It's bold because it's not normal.
It's bold as fuck.
Yeah.
And, you know, would you rather be bold or would you rather be beige?
Yeah, exactly. I'd rather be bold.
Exactly.
You know, it's really, yeah, it's easy to go and live a comfortable life, a secure life, be really confident about what your future is and eliminate as much uncertainty as possible, but that's not the way I want to live. I thrive in the chaos and the uncertainty. I love the fact that I woke up this morning and I had no fucking clue I was going to run into you on the beach. And we met, 2 nights ago, randomly?
Yeah.
And all of a sudden today, I've run into you on the beach. I happen to have this cloth sitting in my bag that I've been wanting to do something with after I ripped my jeans apart. And somehow the idea came about in our conversation of, hey, maybe we can make, you know how to sew, I have material, I need shoes, I lost all my shoes, all the things came together, so many coincidences, like a pair of cloth.
But the craft kit.
Yeah, well, you have a craft kit, I had cloth that was not being used, and I lost 3 pairs of shoes. Well, this is an opportunity. You can look at that as, oh fuck, I lost all these shoes, and oh shit, my jeans are torn, and what? Or you can look at it as, well, my bag just got a lot lighter, so I can pack lighter. Not only that, now I have an opportunity to make something I never would have otherwise made. Way cool, unique, badass shoes. I mean, this is improv as a lifestyle.
Yeah.
Coming from an improv comedy background definitely helps. You learn to just like, here's the scene.
Yeah.
I can't do anything about the scene. It's established. Let's create something beautiful.
Yeah. So you just got me thinking about something that happened to me at work before I was due to come on this trip. Well, 2 things actually. First thing, that just to give a little context, if I had £1 British pound for every time somebody winced at me when I said I was going travelling by myself to India and other places, I would have probably had enough money to fund this trip 3 times over. That was the kind of attitude I got from people. Secondly though, and the one that really got me thinking, was this guy, older guy at work, and you know, I was telling him about what I was doing because he's asking me what, and he said, oh yeah, well, you know, you're young and you just gotta go and get all this out of your system. You just gotta go and get all this out of your system. And I stood there and I looked at him and I was like, no, I don't really think this is me just getting this out of my system, whatever that means. I actually want a new direction and I want to go a different way now, and this is just part of that journey. And everybody else, I could just see their thing was, you're young, you're foolish, you've got all this energy and wanderlust, and you know, go and satisfy it now before you start living, you know, your real life. And in fact, another person said that to me. Oh, you know, oh yeah, I'm sure it'll be really fun, and then, you know, you'll have to come back to your real life. And I was like, what the fuck? Real life to you? Is that just a job and having a house and stuff? Is that what you define as a real life? And everything outside of that, what's that? That's not life. That's just fucking about. So I think it's just I just thought, that's not really what I'm doing. I'm not just having a break from, you know, life. If anything, this is my opportunity to enrich my life more, learn more, do more than I've probably done in the last couple of years. You know, this is kind of living.
I agree. To me, this isn't about taking a break and then going back to
what they call real life, quote unquote. You can't say the air quotes because they're off the camera. But no, this is, for me, it was changing the trajectory of my life and realizing that there are other ways that you can spend your time and your days.
Yeah.
That why are we constrained to this script of what a life is supposed to be, what real life is? Real life is right here, right now. It's this beach with people juggling and going to bonfires and drum circles and living.
And making shoes.
And making shoes. Making gorgeous shoes. Unique shoes.
I know, I've not...
You're not going to find in the mall.
I've not been to, like, work today.
Maybe they will be in the mall someday.
Do you know what? Maybe they will.
Yeah.
This is maybe where it's all going to start.
This is the first prototype.
Yeah.
So this morning I was told I had to move out of my guest house because it was already booked for today.
Uh-huh.
And guess what? I don't have a concern in the world about it. A lot of people would come here and they'd freak their shit out because, oh my God, where am I going to stay tonight? What? I don't have a place booked. What am I going to do? Dude, I'm here, I'm breathing, I'm alive. One way or another, I'm not going to be stranded. I'll find a place to crash tonight. You know what? In the worst word, let's pretend every single hostel and guest house in this whole city is booked.
Uh-huh.
Oh man, I guess I'm gonna just crash on the beach tonight. What a terrible scenario.
Yeah.
But that even won't come to that. I'm gonna find a place. I'll find a friend to crash with. I'll find a guest house that's cheap enough. Maybe I'll decide to take a bus and go to Gokarna tonight if I want to. Who the hell knows? But there's infinite options, and I think people on vacations limit themselves by having a strict plan. Meet this place this time. And why? You can just live spontaneously, introduce a little chaos, improvise.
But it's fear of the unknown, isn't it?
It is fear of the unknown. That's why people don't quit their jobs and go, because it's that fear of, well, what if I don't have a job? What a crazy idea that is. You're telling me that if you quit your job and you have on your resume all this time and experience of seeing the world, getting new perspectives, that's not valuable resume experience? Come on. It's just madness, the fears that control us, I think.
Definitely.
I'm getting preachy now.
But there is a book that kind of helps with this kind of stuff, and it's quite a famous book, but the main line is, if you're fearful, you just should feel the fear and do it anyway.
Yeah.
And just
use it to motivate you.
I
have the fear. Sure, I have that same fear of what do I do? To me, that doesn't mean I have to go set myself up with safety nets. To me, that means, well, I better goddamn succeed in something, and I better try a whole bunch of things, and something's gonna hit. I'm gonna try all this creative bullshit. I'm gonna write some music. I'm gonna go write a book. I'm gonna videotape something, and I don't know if this is gonna be a movie. Maybe it's gonna be a YouTube series. I'll just keep doing creative shit until something hits. Worst case scenario, I'll just go onto the streets and perform music. Yeah, I broke my glasses. They're kind of in the process of decaying. Guess what? I don't give a shit. They're cracked and they're really expensive. They're real Ray-Bans, a couple $100. But whatever, it is a material thing. Well, am I gonna be bothered if these just shatter? No, I'll get some new glasses for $2 and okay, they won't be Ray-Bans, but they'll serve the purpose.
There'll be Ray-Bans.
Huh?
There'll be Ray-Bans.
Yeah.
Which might even be even better.
Yeah, exactly. So, this is Mike Margulies spitting more bullshit. Thank you for tuning in.
All right.
Right.
I'll try it on.
Yeah. And this is my shoe sing, 'cause making shoes is my new thing.
Look at my shoes, I'm dancing. Look at all the color blues, I'm prancing. I think making shoes should be your new thing.
All right, everybody, thank you for tuning in to this episode of Walking the Earth podcast. You can find us on our various social media, so that's facebook.com/Walking the Earth podcast. We're also on Twitter. Our handle there is WTE podcast. The show itself can be found on soundcloud.com/Walking the Earth podcast. We're also on the iTunes store, or if you're an Android user, you can find us on Stitcher. So thanks again for tuning in, and we will catch you next time.